I was going to say it's harsh, but dirty is a better word for it.
Yeah,
Dirty.
Yeah, but not in an erotic way. Yeah, it's dirty. Yeah, but
everything you say is erotic. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah. Okay, I've just changed the bumper for the start of the podcast. Great.
Good morning, Vietnam!
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Batman. I am the Father.
But no, if I'm getting a lot of time, I can watch films now. That's the thing. Well, depends. I try and get to the cinema as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I end up like, watching stuff in the house. I end up just putting on a lot of shite. I mean, I know that's rich coming from me.
I was going to say, and that is different to your usual viewing. How?
Well, I can because I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, for example. You know, just to sort of like decompress at the end of the day.
Let me know what you think of Tornado if you do go and see it. Tim Roth's swagger is just unreal.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I remember you saying you liked it. I saw a trailer and I thought it looked quite good because I hammered the cinema a lot the last week though. I went to see Clown in the Cornfield, Dangerous Animals and Karate Kid Legends.
That's an odd mix. But people in the wee Final Girls group that I'm in, everyone's been raving about that, Dangerous Animals and Clown in a Cornfield. Clown is just a hard no for me, as you guys know, but Dangerous Animals looks interesting.
Dangerous Animals is great. It really
is. Is it really gory?
It's glorious moments.
I'm not going to heave.
I watched a film last night called Back Country. Nothing really happens in it for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it does, it's like, Jesus, there's a bear attack scene and it's one of the most brutal, goriest things I've ever seen in a film. It's horrendous.
Oh my God. What is that one? Is that on Shudder?
Prime.
Oh, Prime. Right, okay.
Can't remember the director's name off the top of my head. He directed Pyewacket. I don't know if you've seen that.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, that was quite good as well. Like I said, it's a couple go in the woods, and then hilarity ensues when they get lost, usual kind of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty well done. I recommend it.
Oh, sounds good. There was something I saw the other day and I thought of you actually. I can't remember what it was. It was like something part 14 or something. And I was like, have you seen this?
Funny enough, because I went to see Friday the 13th at the cinema on Friday.
Yeah.
I just decided just to do a rewatch. All of them, so we watched up till 3 yesterday.
Oh wow! Okay. And was this a new film or was it just like they're rerunning Friday the 13th because it was Friday the 13th?
Yeah, just the original, just the first one.
Right, okay.
It's Showcase. So it was also June the 13th is Jason's birthday.
Is it?
So,
oh my God, that's so cool.
So it doesn't come along often. So when I saw that was on, I was like, yeah, I can't go and see that. I mean, it's not a great film by any means. It wasn't great when it came out. Like, didn't get a lot of good reviews. It hasn't aged very well. It's not a great film. Like the Friday the 13th franchise overall is better than the Halloween franchise. But the first Halloween film pisses over the entire Friday the 13th franchise, if that makes sense. You know, it's like the first Halloween film's great. The sequel's not so much. Friday the 13th doesn't really have great films. They're just fun and stupid.
So
although the recent Halloween ones have been absolutely honking.
I liked the first two new ones. I did not like the last one at all.
I just didn't like. I felt like they were again like, and that's why I was so skeptical about the first Omen, which thankfully turned out to be really good. But I feel like all these like reboots or whatever of certain franchises, I'm like, they're never going to deliver on the scale that your expectations are. And I definitely felt that with the recent Halloween films. I just felt they were really poor.
See, I suppose I really liked the first one. They did, and it was also that kind of sense after just years of really bad Halloween films. It was nice to get something that I didn't think was terrible. But I did quite enjoy it. I liked Halloween Kills as well because it was just that big daft slasher. But Halloween Ends, oh my God! I keep telling myself I should go back and rewatch it to see if it's. No, I can't. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. But it was just really misleading as well because it's supposed to be a trilogy, but all 3 films do not gel together.
Yeah, and also, did you not explain to me that the way some of the films work is like they completely ignore things that have happened in like, say, 3, 4, or 5 like films ago?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they do. They do that all the time.
Rewrite the canon, sort of.
They've rebooted Halloween 3 times, but with Halloween H2O, they ignored everything after 2, and then with the new ones, they ignored everything after 1. So yeah, they've done this twice,
Oh.
and then they'll do it again. They'll reboot it
I was going to
again.
say, do you think there will be any more?
They will, because Halloween ends very clearly and definitively
Mm-hmm.
that you cannot have a sequel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think I've seen that one,
they
actually. I think I've seen the first 2 of the newer ones, and I haven't seen that one, actually.
I implore you to watch it just to see if you actually might like it, because it's so different. But it's not about
Okay.
Michael Myers. It's about this new
Okay.
character. That's what I mean with the kind of jail thing. So the first one, they bring Michael Myers back. It's a sequel to the first one. Like, cool. They've changed a few wee things here and there, but it's fine. And then the second one, you're like, okay, you've just really undone everything for the previous one, but it's still fun to watch. And then this one, you have ignored the previous 2 films. It's set it in the same continuity.
Right.
And ignore it. So the first one, you're like, okay, Michael Myers is back. Second one, let's build him up to this indestructible demon. And the third one, he's a homeless man living in the sewers and gets battered off a teenager who gets bullied off a band, or a
What?
school band. Right. Michael Myers then, I think it's
What did
not
he?
really
What did he
clear.
beat him up with his flute?
Right. No, this kid isn't in the
Steady.
band. He gets beat up by school band.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. And then Michael Myers transfers his evil to him or something, and it becomes like a buddy movie.
Cool.
With the go and wee killing. It was fucking awful, honestly. It's terrible. And the whole marketing there was to build up this big final showdown between Laurie and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what the film was about.
Oh.
And yeah, a lot of it was really divisive. You saw it, didn't you, John?
I did, yeah, and you're right. It was expected that it was going to be pretty much a gore fest from start to finish, with Michael Myers, the sort of the big finale, and it just did not happen that way. Like you said, you were sitting there going, well, "Why am I watching this guy in a sewer?" Didn't make much sense.
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds
like, because at the end of Halloween Kills, they're like, the more Michael kills, the more powerful he becomes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, you're introducing this at the end of the second one after not mentioning this at all in any of the previous ones, the previous of the new ones, that is. And then this one starts. It's a few years after the second one. He's just living in a sewer as a homeless man, getting battered by teenagers, and
Make it make sense.
yeah, it's just horrible. It's terrible.
Yeah,
So
it
bad.
didn't make sense.
Because they introduce this new character and make the film about him. I'm like, that's a bold move in the third part.
Yeah, essentially, if they're packaging it as a trilogy, it seems odd to bring that sort of storyline in so late into the trilogy and then completely change sort of the Michael Myers lore, as it were. Like, since when has he ever been living in a sewer, getting beaten up by kids?
Yeah, it's the most disjointed idea of it. Although it's funny because there was an idea for a Nightmare on Elm Street film where Freddy had become so weak, teenagers were deliberately going to sleep so they could bully him in their dreams. And then it obviously goes a bit tits up and he gets his powers and that back. I'm pretty sure that was the one Peter Jackson was meant to direct, which would have been an interesting
Oh, no
film.
way. Yeah, it would
Yeah.
have been. It's mad. I love when you hear stuff like that, though, and it's like, oh, this particular iteration of whatever it is just didn't come off because of like timing or whatever, and or like director fallouts with like studios and stuff like that. And you're always left wondering what could have been, even like on a Marvel basis as well, like things like that. You're like, oh, I wonder what could have been if so and so had stayed on to direct, or you know, there hadn't been this fallout. Like, I kind of there's a version of cinema out there that exists that we'll never get to see.
Yeah,
Well,
like
there's a
Danny
YouTube
Boyle.
channel. Yes,
Yeah.
there's a YouTube channel I've been watching, and it's called Bullets and Blockbusters or something. I'll find it and send you. And that's exactly what the channel was. This guy talking about the production of films and people who originally directed and what that film would have looked like.
Oh, no way,
And
that
what
sounds
happened.
amazing.
It is good. I'll send you across, and there's loads of like Marvel stuff and DC stuff, but other stuff as well. But the one I watched recently was the film Hancock, Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
And it was, but I didn't know it. Vince Gilligan was on that film writing at one point, and he left to go and do a TV show about a school teacher that gets cancer and starts selling crystal meth. And the director of the film said, "Go and make your stupid show. You're going to regret this."
No way! I love that. That is amazing.
Yeah. So I'll find the channel, send you across. It's just full of stuff like that. It's great.
Yeah, that's really interesting, please, because I do love stuff like that. Because it does make you wonder, like especially like what was the one that Sam Raimi was attached to, the Marvel one,
Doctor
the title of
Strange.
Doctor Strange.
No, he
If
did direct that.
No, the sequel. Was he not attached to
He directed
that
Scott
as well?
Derrickson done the first one.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
it.
yeah.
Scott Derrickson dropped out the second one. Sam Raimi took over. I watched
That's
that
what it
episode
is.
actually. That's really the Marvel ones are really good because it really shows you how Marvel's biggest strength and weakness is Kevin Feige. Because
Right,
when
okay.
it works, he's really good at keeping things kind of in a singular vision.
Mm-hmm.
But when it doesn't work, you can see how it just comes off the rails because that singular vision just. I'll send you a couple of across.
I feel like that's a really fair assessment of Marvel in general, though. Like when they get their films right, like they are genuinely really enjoying like proper popcorn blockbusters. People excited to see them, but when they go wrong, it's like it's not just like, oh, this performed quite poorly. It's like it's apocalyptic in terms of box office numbers, reaction on social media, all that sort of thing. Like there's no happy medium. They're either absolutely nailing it or it's a disaster. And I think that's just Marvel in general, to be honest with you.
Yeah, every film has to make more than the previous film, I think, with Marvel. That's the way that it's perceived, and if it doesn't, it's a flop, which is detrimental in a way, because when you had the likes of the Avengers films and they were doing like $2 billion, and then you would have something like Shang-Chi coming after it, or even the Ant-Man film came after it, and that was a flop because...
that was terrible, though.
It was a terrible film, yeah. But it was regarded as a flop because it didn't make $1 billion, and you're saying, well, that's, But yes, the quality varies wildly, I think, with these films now. Whereas before, you could almost guarantee that it would be a fairly enjoyable movie, but you just don't get that now.
Well, the thing is, as well, is like the previous films, I think what Marvel worked really well was they were making films you could watch as standalone films, but they would have Easter eggs, a post-credit scene that made you want to watch the next one, or set something up for further down the line. Now, the whole film is just a trailer for the next thing. So Thunderbolts, for example, I don't know if you watched it or no, but I felt this has got a really good chance to do something different, and it just becomes a trailer for the Fantastic Four.
Right, okay.
That's all. The film just exists for the post-credit scene. Everybody's like, "What a great post-credit scene!" Well, no, really, because I know Fantastic Four's coming out. It's not like before when you would like Nick Fury turning up and saying we're going to start a team, or the Fine Four's hammer, and then you're like, "Oh, I know there's a fourth film getting made, but that's got me interested." I've seen like 3 Fantastic Four trailers by now. I know they're making it. I know when it's out. It's out soon.
Yeah, you can
Having
book
a
your tickets for
post-credit
it like
scene-
as of next week or something like that. You don't need the.
Having a post-credit scene introducing it isn't really exciting because
And
I sort of
also,
know
does
this.
it need an introduction? Like these are characters that people are very familiar with. Yes, they've had obviously different iterations of them over the years, but do they need an introduction in terms of who they are and where they sit within Marvel? Because everyone knows who these characters are.
Well, exactly.
They
That's
do
why
need an
people always
introduction.
complained about it.
I think they do need an introduction because it's not the same as the comics, and it's not the same as the previous iterations of, like, for
Right,
instance,
okay, no, that's fair
Fantastic
enough.
Four.
That's fair enough.
Apparently they're coming from an alternate Earth, so it's like a multiverse thing. They're going to be introduced that, but I don't know exactly, obviously, because I've not seen it. But that's the reckoning. So they do need a certain amount of
The multiverse
introduction.
thing. The multiverse thing's interesting because I thought Deadpool and Wolverine sort of went, okay, Marvel, we've tried this, it hasn't worked, let's kill it. But all Marvel have done since that film is double down on it. It's like they looked at it and went, Deadpool and Wolverine made a lot of money. The multiverse was in that. Therefore, people must want more multiverse stuff. Let's do more of that. It's like, no, that's not the point.
They missed the satire bit.
Yeah. But no, to go back to the point of John about reintroducing the characters, depends how you do it. It's like the whole Batman thing in it, and people saying we don't need to see his parents get killed again. We don't need to see Superman origin story again. We
I
can
booked my
jump
tickets
forward a
for
wee
that.
bit.
I'm nervous. I feel like the trailer looks really good, but I want this to work. I feel like it's a good cast.
I think it'll be good. It looks like a very good, bright, fun comic book movie.
Yeah.
It looks like, I love the Snyder stuff, but it looks hopeful. It looks
it's definitely
bright.
it's not like shadowy and a Dark Knight ripoff. It does look like a nice like color burst, and obviously Midge Maisel is the love interest, so yay, happy. Right, wait a minute, what does your notebook say? Show me that again. I am a writer. Anything you say or do may be used in the story. I love that. That's a great book.
You say that on the cover, but still waiting for the handsome older gentleman to appear in one of your fucking stories, man. Come on.
That's kind of my old man Logan style story. I need to build up to it.
Oh my god, I love that. I absolutely love that. Feel free if you ever want to like murder a character in a really like the worst way you could possibly think of, like please call her Mary. I would love to get murdered in one of your novels. And it's on
Shall
record
do.
now that I've said that. Because
Shall
I
I?
am
John
the
edits out the novel part.
I am the first zombie that gets killed in a what do you call it? Shaun of the Dead, if you remember. They find
Yes.
Mary in the back garden. So I would love to get murdered in one of your books as well. See, when I wrote these notes, I thought it was just going to be me and John, but now that I know that it's the two of you, I can amend my intro slightly.
Oh dear, yeah. I don't know if you've been listening, Thomas, but Mary enjoys doing.
My intros have been popular.
Yes. Although we did get some nice notes from Gavin Mann, didn't we, on the intro for the Braveheart one? Which was
He loved our Apocalypse Now reference.
yes.
Which, in fairness, I feel like that's one of the most fun I've had recording one of these episodes, because those films could not be more polar opposite in terms of like tone, style, accents, and yet we just played our way through them.
You should have got Angus MacDonald on as a guest.
We did talk about him in the pod, obviously, his portrayal of Bruce and how he is the saviour of Scotland in real life, of course.
Yeah. It's funny, I keep forgetting he's in that. I keep forgetting he's in Braveheart. And I know
Yeah, well, because
that's
I'd
all part
watched
of the
that
whole-
on Prime, it does come up saying you might want to watch Robert the Bruce. I'm like, no, I fucking don't.
There we go. There's the bumper for the start of the pod.
Yes.
I feel like I haven't checked his tweets in a while. Is he still? I feel like is he still on a
No,
mission
I
to?
was-
Don't know. Sitting in a cave
Yeah,
somewhere looking at a spider, probably. You know, going all method.
Yes. You can stay there.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, in fairness, if he's living in a cave right now, he'll probably be the only one of us that survives when the Middle East eventually implodes and Putin joins in with Iran and we're all bombed to fuck. So he's probably got the right idea.
I don't know if I can have him restarting civilization though.
I'm sure there's
Can I
a
just
reality
say-
show in that.
I was going to say, surely there'll be some cameraman that survives and he'll be able to document his rebuilding of Scotland in his own vision.
Everybody with tricked their accents and
Yeah, all bowing down to the dear leader.
just make us twice in that case, make sure.
Oh dear. Do you know, I cannot believe that those first films were so long ago as well. Like, and obviously the third one only coming out now.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that, Thomas?
I did. I was actually surprised how scathing I was of the film. I always try to be a bit more kind of balanced, but yeah, I just don't like that film at all.
No, you know,
Do you know what the thing is though? I did watch them relatively back to back myself, not one straight after the other, but like maybe only a few days apart. And there's a gulf of quality. Like it's remarkable. And as you say, that first, like, having never seen it before, I was like, oh my god, the farmhouse! I can't believe he's fucked off. This is really scary. Blah blah blah. And then as you say, I just didn't care by the end, which I think in a film where you're supposed to be really emotionally invested in these characters is the biggest danger, is that you just don't care. And I didn't.
Yeah.
Sad, isn't it? Yeah.
That's
Hollywood
disappointing.
machine.
I mean, it's not the first time we'll see it. It's not the last time either. But yeah, I think the thing about me watched it as well, the thing that really annoys me about it is it's got that potential to it, and you can see what at times it's trying to do, and then just doesn't work.
That's what I'm saying. Like there is genuinely interesting plot points in there, but instead they focus on like the plot conveniences, which is like, and none of them obviously make sense. So yeah, it's a shame. I feel like there is a good film in there somewhere, but it's just as buried in the nonsense, really.
Yeah. And Robert Carlyle's really good in it. That's the thing. He is great, as he is in most things. And it's good to see him go full Begbie in Texas scene. But other than that, it's a very. There's a lot of. I mean, again, I love a good illogical horror, but this didn't want to be that. I'll just repeat myself here, but I didn't know if we wanted to be the big dumb horror or the serious, atmospheric, dread-filled one that just. The film had an identity issue.
Yeah, it really did. As I say, it to me, it's like it felt like a bad like video game at times. But then they were trying to do like family drama, trying to do obviously still the horror elements, and I was just, it was a big genre mishmash, and not in a good way. Like we've obviously seen films over the years where they've pulled in from different genres and they've somehow managed to make it work. But this just didn't. I do have really high hopes for the new one, as I say, especially the fact that it's back to Alex Garland and Danny Boyle. I feel like it's going to deliver. Although I do feel like because of the Cillian Murphy discourse, when I do see that corpse pop up, I probably am going to giggle, but not because it's bad or anything like that, but just because that'll be in my head.
There was a wee bit on the IMDb page about the corpse, and obviously there was a lot of fan speculation about
Has it
it.
been credited?
Danny Boyle actually takes the blame for it because he said he showed his girlfriend the trailer, and she said, "People will think that's Cillian Murphy." And he says, no, I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't be silly. And then he was like, oh, shit. Right, okay.
See, women are not listened to all the fucking time. I feel like our next 1995 episode is going to be an absolute heartbreaker for me as well, because is it not 7 in The Usual Suspects?
It is, yes.
I'm going to spend a lot of time apologising. It was like when we were talking about Braveheart, like I was very effusive about Mel Gibson in brackets. I'm really sorry. I know he's been cancelled. I feel like it's going to be the same again with Kevin Spacey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, just got a disclaimer at the front start. I'll just have you rolling banner across the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, we're separating the art from the artist. We're so sorry that these films both happened to come out in the year that we're reviewing.
Do not reflect. At the end of the day, though, I mean, I went to watch 7 in the cinema fairly recently, apart from months ago now, actually. But me and mate went to see it, and it finished, and we were talking about it, saying, you know, he's fucking good, though, isn't he? It's like,
yeah.
But it was watching it going, you can't help but think about the unpleasantness when you're watching
because
it.
you're now sort of you're now retrofitting like different opinions about him, obviously, onto these particular characters. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting episode. I think they're two of my favorite films, like of all time. So it's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm, definitely. You are, of course, welcome to join us, Thomas.
Of course, yeah.
Scheduling permitting, obviously.
Yeah, I'll keep posted in the chat. I'm not going to just I'll let you know in advance. Yeah,
we will post what we're thinking about doing over the next couple of weeks anyway. All depends on how quickly we can see certain films.
Yeah,
I know I'm going to miss the F1 film, and it opens on the day that I'm away on holiday. So,
okay. Oh, wait to come back.
Yeah, but I might actually see it when I'm away, because
nice.
we're going to Liverpool and Cornwall, so
nice.
I'll probably fit a wee cinema trip in there, and obviously the F1 film will be the big film of the week then, so I'll probably go and see it then. So I need to take my notebook with me on holiday so I can take notes.
I love a holiday cinema. I am really looking. My expectations are so sky high for that. Like, as I say, the fact that when I've been watching F1, like actual F1 on the TV, and you've seen Brad Pitt like line up with the drivers for the national anthems, or like joining in like the practice sessions, I'm like, this. My expectations are really high for what this is going to deliver in terms of the reality of actually running an F1 team, being an F1 driver, and what it's like to be on certain like tracks. Obviously, some are more dangerous than others. So my expectations are really, really high for this. It better not let me down.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Well, every day's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I'm with that with the Superman. I'm like, I'm so excited for this. Fantastic Four. The more I see a Fantastic Four, the less excited I get. And that's
really? So I feel like it's kind of the opposite effect for me. I feel like it's drawn me in a bit more. I know there's obviously, as I say, a lot of controversy over that Julia Garner is the Silver Surfer, and obviously the internet dweebs are losing their shit over a gender swap there. But I actually think it's drawn me into it in terms of sort of story and style. It's obviously doing a sort of WandaVision type of vibe, isn't it?
My thing with the kind of gender swapping thing is that I have no issue with race swapping, gender swapping as in general. And Disney starts doing it, I'm like, can you please just stop? It's lazy.
But in this case, it's actually legitimate, because Silver Surfer, as with all these characters,
Aye.
has gone through iterations and they've been male and female and
I know,
alien,
and that's the thing.
you know,
It's like,
something. So yeah,
it's that part. But I say that in content, standalone context, it doesn't bother me. It's just whenever I see Disney doing it, I think
yeah.
you just do this to pat yourself in the back with it. You think this is progressive and it's lazy. If the character's good, I don't care. But see if the Silver Surfer character is dull and boring and they focus on the fact that as a woman, it's like, no, you can't keep doing this and expect people not to get annoyed.
And
Because
also,
they're
they
just
do
baiting
tend,
people.
they tend to have a habit of sort of hanging their actors out to dry as well. So they're not giving them
Yeah.
the support and backing on a sort of social media platform. And I hate, that's where films tend to live and die these days. But if it doesn't work and people are saying, oh, it's because of, this gender swap or this, whatever, Disney will just hang that actor out to dry, and they'll not say, like, no, we're committed to, we believe that this worked for the film. Here's why it worked. Here's why we chose this particular actor. Like, you'll never hear a peep from them. They'll just make another fuck up at the box office the next time and blame somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've never taken into account that the writing is the issue with this, not the casting. Because great actor, love her in so
that
many
horror
different
film,
things.
Ozark, she's brilliant. That horror film that she's got coming out, that I can't remember the name of, but that looks fucking
Oh, yeah,
brilliant.
that's
The one
good.
about the one about the kids. Oh, it looks
Yeah.
scary from the trailers. So
She was in that
she's
one
great.
a couple years ago with Australian Outback when she was a backpacker working in the bar. Can't remember the name of it. That was really good.
Can't remember.
I don't know.
She
if
was
Pedro
good in
Pascal's great.
Wolfman. Wolfman was a bad film, but she was good in it.
Yeah, she was good in
well,
it.
so
I'm not convinced Pedro Pascal's a good casting for Mr. Fantastic. I think he's great. I don't know if he works for Mr. Fantastic.
I'm going to say
I
something
don't
controversial here.
I don't love the casting of the Fantastic Four, to be honest with you, apart from the
Yeah.
guy to the bear.
I think
that's
it's a
another thing. I
mismatch.
know you're going to say. I know you're going to slag Pedro Pascal a second, but another thing with
I'm going to slag him.
Kevin Feige apparently said something about he doesn't want this Johnny to be much of a hothead. I'm like, that's the fucking character, man.
That's
what are you
literally
doing?
the character. Yeah, that's literally the character, but okay. My controversial thought is that I love Pedro Pascal as a person. Like, I think he's very charismatic. I think he's on the right side of a lot of debates. I think he comes across really well. Is he the best actor I've ever seen? I've only ever really seen him, I guess, in The Mandalorian and The Last of Us. I'm not sold on him as an actor necessarily, and I know that's probably sacrilege to say.
He's great in Game of Thrones, and he's a lot of fun in that Nicolas Cage film, Unbearable.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, he was good in that. But I just think in the two big franchisey things that I've seen him in, he's not bowled me over necessarily. I get that he's very charismatic personally, like I do understand that, but maybe in the bigger sort of franchisey pieces, he's not able to do or flex enough of the.
Are you suggesting that he's cast as political, and he's only been cast in these roles because of his views and the rest of his arguments?
No, definitely
Are you going to start a right-wing
not.
grifting YouTube video channel next?
Definitely not, because actually I forgot he was in that The Unbearable Weight of Talent, and he is excellent in that. But I think
he is in every franchise going. You're right.
He's just a bit, he's a bit sort of.
He's in every franchise going.
Yeah.
But people forget as well, it was a villain in Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh fuck! So he was.
You know, they're just like as a franchise, and they go, let's phone Pedro Pascal.
Yep, Gladiator 2.
I mean, I like him. I like the actors that are playing the Fantastic Four individually. I'm not sure how they'll be in this film. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
My mate summed it up perfectly when he said Mr. Fantastic is this nerdy, geeky guy, and they've cast somebody whose fans call him Daddy. I know. But like I said, when I first saw the first trailer,
he is the internet daddy.
The minute I see the trailer, the minute I see different footage of it, I think, I don't know. I'm just seeing more Marvel missteps. I could be wrong.
I'll go and watch. As I say, my hopes are high for Superman for definite. I'll go and watch Fantastic Four as well, but my hopes are maybe not as high for that. Whereas Superman, I just think looks like genuine fun, and I did see there was some fun TikTok stuff between the actor that plays Superman and Nicholas Hoult, and it was like they were trying to do trust falls, and Nicholas Hoult just lets him drop, obviously because he's meant to be a bad guy. Then he just walks straight to camera and he's like, "So Superman is in cinemas from July 11th," and it's like, okay. Yeah, this is the type of thing that I want to see. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.